Hello, today we're going to discuss a little bit about one of the most unknown features within inside of OneDrive and SharePoint and Teams for that matter. It's the ability to actually request files. Now keep in mind your organization does need to allow this to be a possibility for you. But when we think about requesting a file across a lot of different applications, it involves generating a space to allow someone to upload a file that then you have access to. So with that, I'm in my OneDrive here for us, and you can see that I have my files selected on the left-hand side of my screen. I'm going to go ahead and just create a new folder within inside of this folder here specifically, and we'll call it Request Files, and I'll choose my favorite color of blue, and go ahead and click on Create. Now that folder gets created. Now when we think about what that means, this means that when we upload files or have someone upload files, it's going to go into this location. So with that, I'll go ahead and select the checkbox here and I'll click on Request Files. It's important to note for request files, you do have to allow access obviously into your environment. So your organization might have this disabled, but keep in mind you can have different settings for SharePoint and for OneDrive that would allow this to be a possibility for you. So when we go ahead and click on Request Files, it's going to generate a form of basically saying, what do we want to make sure people know what they're uploading? So in this example, I'm saying I'm going to work on a project, and I'm going to just say it's, project docs. That way, when someone clicks on the link, they're going to get greeted with a message that says, hey, you're going to upload into Pat's project docs area. With that, obviously, I can use it to send an email. If I want to use those generic emails, I can certainly enter that in. I'm going to go ahead and copy the link. Now, I always like to test this. Is this going to work? Is this what I want it to do here overall? So I'll go ahead and copy the link. I'm just going to click on the Done button here for us real quickly. You can see that I did share the file. Before it was private for it, because keep in mind, was not available by default to others to be able to request information or upload items in. So with that, let's go ahead and let's just generate a new in private window here for us real quickly. And I'll put in that nice long hyperlink that gets generated here for us. And you can see here's the message. Pat Peterson's requesting files for project docs. I'll go ahead and select the files here. And what this allows me to do is if I want to select a few from an existing blog that I had done, here's the items. I'll go ahead and put in my fictitious name here of Homer Simpson. And then as soon as I click on upload, it's uploading those files in. It's sending an email or an alert letting Pat, in this case, know that there's been files uploaded. Of course, I could trigger a Power Automate flow off of that as well for us. But again, just keep in mind there's some different possibilities here of what's possible for you. In this case, I could obviously click on Upload More, but I'll go ahead and minimize that and get back to my OneDrive location. Now you can see it hasn't fully updated for us. It's still saying 0 items, but I'm going to go ahead and click inside of it, and you can see just like that, there's the 3 different items for us. Each of them do have the more or less the person's name appended at the front of the file name specifically. So you're getting the ability of collecting those files. Maybe they're too large for email as well. So a really plausible, a great opportunity for you to collect that information and collect those files overall. Additionally, let's take a look at that email notification that comes across for us. So I've gone ahead already, went into my inbox here specifically, and you can see here's that out-of-the-box alert that says, hey, there were new files that were uploaded here as well. So again, as we're taking a look at the ability to collect files, it's a really important and easy way for us to take a look at it overall. A few items to make mention of. As if you really like the file request process here overall, there's a few things to mention. The first thing is that it does only work if you're using OneDrive for work or school, not available for personal OneDrive specifically. The other item to make mention is that your administrator does need to have anyone links enabled. Again, keep in mind your organization may have those turned off or disabled. For it, keep in mind you can get very granular with SharePoint and OneDrive permissions where it's not opening up the entire organization to allow that to happen. Also to make a mention of is that it is, using those folder permissions. So you want to be very careful in terms of what that's doing. It is only going to allow a user to upload those files into the specific location, whether it's OneDrive or SharePoint. Again, keep in mind, you can get very granular in fine tuning it. And as part of this blog post, I'm including some links that you can review to help out with that as well. Again, as you're looking at the ability here to really control it, I like the request files in a variety of different examples. One of them that I like is maybe I'm in financial services and I need to request a lot of documentation or documents for us. A really good way to get that, maybe offloading a large email attachments or other services that you may be using before. If you're not in financial services, maybe you're inside of property management and professional services, and you need to have a professional area for you to collect contracts or assets related to a project. Again, once they're uploaded, the users don't have the ability to go and delete or modify. So it's not a traditional portal experience. It's more or less just a collection point. I like to say it's like the mailbox. I'm going to go put the letter in, and then from there, it's tracked over. The last use case that I think is really important for you is the ability to build off of that process. So imagine taking a document that gets uploaded, and now you can route it for approval. Maybe you want to move it to somebody else. Maybe you want to route it to the specific person or to a folder overall, convert the document. You have a lot of different possibilities with Power Automate to be able to do that. I hope you enjoyed this little short as we talked through the file request process, as well as saw that process from start to finish. Thank you. And if you have any questions or other items, feel free to put them in the blog linked inside of the comment portion here. Otherwise, feel free to reach out. Thank you.